Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday Call Live, filmed in beautiful Burlington, North Carolina, in front of a live studio audience. Now, let's hear it for our President and CEO, Andy Albright!
Thank y'all. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. We got some Christmas stuff to talk about.
All right, ring the bell.
I'm going to do the best I can with what I got to work with. First thing, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
What a year. 2020 has been unbelievable. It's almost over. We get ready for the first year of the rest of our life, 2021. I want to talk to you about that, what we're going to do next year. But the first thing I want to talk about is the gift. First gift for this year is the next year's trip. All expense paid Alaskan cruise. Can y'all imagine that? This is on the Ovation of the Seas. It's a beautiful ship. It's got the, cuz you're going to like this, it's got the air, what do you call it? The air diving, the tunnel, the funnel tunnel. It looks like you're jumping out of an airplane and you're flying. That's on the ship. They got the flow rider, so you're surfing on the ship. They got the, I don't know what they call it, the sky ball. They put you in it and it lifts you up, and you'll see on the video. They're going to release the video right now on band and text it out to people. We'll put it on the private Facebook. But it's got that where you put in this globe and it lifts you up, and you can look all over the ship. It's just kind of crazy. So you're in a glass ball. We're going to Juneau, and we're going to see Lake Elliott, named after Elliott Gorog, with our HMA program. And we're buying drink coupons for everybody for every day, all day on the ship. So those are crazy.
Hey, Andy.
It is, yeah.
We got that video available if you want to watch it now.
Yeah, go ahead and pop that video up. That's a great video. I think it is. Make sure we send it out. Alaska, baby. The last great frontier. Maybe. I don't know. Alaska. It's cold up there, so I got my jacket on, and they got ice glaciers. We're going to cruise Alaska. It's not just a cruise, it's a journey. The Ovation of the Seas. We are going cruising. And where are we going while we're cruising in Alaska? Juneau. Yes, I know, it's Juneau. It is the largest capital in the United States of America. You're going to see orcas, you're going to see humpback whales, you're going to see them sea dogs, you're going to see the sea sails, you're going to see everything up in Juneau, because Juneau. Have you ever been dog sledding? You get on the back of the sled. Or you down like this right here. You know this right here? There's a country song that says, if I never get to see the Northern Lights, I bet you go on this cruise, you're going to get to see the Northern Lights. On a cruise ship, can you imagine skydiving? Skydiving on a cruise ship. Check out this thing. They call it the North Star. They put you in a bubble and way above the cruise ship. Check it out, all the ship and the ocean and the stars in the sky. Oh, they got this thing called the flow rider, baby. Get your mind right. Here's what you do. After you get through skydiving, bumper riding a sky needle, and all this other stuff, jumping out of a plane, then we got the rock climbing. I do want to tell you something. If you've ever had one of these cruises and you find out that it's an extra $89 a day to have a little sippy of the drinky, well, I want to let you know that the Alliance is covering it. Drink tickets for everybody, baby. Woo! Drink responsibly. Let's do it. The extension in Seattle, the Emerald City, baby. Have you been down to Pike's Place, the market where they're fishing and they throw in the fish? You might even get to catch one. It's going to be nuts.
Do you want a cup of coffee? We're going to get one at the place it all began. Can you imagine me and you going on a climb to the top of the iconic Space Needle, where views of ridiculous cascading mountains in the Elliott Bay? Oh my God, dude, it's going to be crazy beautiful.
I do want to talk to those of you that know you'll win it in the first 2 months, 3 months. There's a thing called the Royal Suite class of luxury travel on this ship. In the Royal Suite, you don't have a butler, you got a genie. You wish it, you think it, you hit a button and it's gonna be great. You'll like it. Let me explain something to you. We're going to Alaska. Can you say premiums, points, and penguins? Here's the greatest thing. Here's the greatest thing about this cruise. We have so many bonus points available, up to 50,000 bonus points available just by moving up the levels. Plus, brand new people, if you write for CFG or Foresters, NLG or F&G, you get 10,000 bonus points. That's up to 60,000 bonus points just by hiring people and helping others.
And all you need is $125,000 to win the all-expense-paid cruise. All you need is 220,000 points to get the extension.
And a point is simple. It's $1 of premium. So a person does $85 a month. That's 1,020 points. All you do is multiply 85 times 12. If you do a $100 sale, that's easier because that's 1,200 points. Do you understand? It's dollar for dollar on life insurance. It's 10% on annuities, plus bonus points that you win by moving up the levels.
Woohoo! Everybody, every single person in the Alliance can win this cruise. 125,000 points for the cruise, all expense paid, 5 nights, 6 days, and then we're going on to Seattle.
Oh, you say, Andy, you don't understand. I'm a hero, I'm a studette. I'm a stud, I'm gonna sell a lot. You can win an all-expense-paid cruise for your mom and daddy. We have a point structure in place for not only do you win you and a guest a trip and we fly them, we'll do it for your parents. We'll do another guest. Just look at the guidelines, a little bit higher, a little bit more. Get all you can get, baby. It's free as for me. If you can win it, then I'm in it. Let's go, take it all. Seattle cup of coffee while you're riding the polar bear, baby. And a penguin in your arm. That little penguin. What y'all think? We're going to Alaska? And for all of the guys that have been with us a while, there are extra incentives to earn the points for the cruise and then keep pushing and pushing and pushing more, because there'll be more money, more cash, more benefits as you keep growing. Also, you heard the comment about the first ones to win are getting the suites. So Belle Krause wants to inform everybody that she is going to win the cruise in the first month of the year. So we give you 12 months to do it, but she says she thinks she has got it knocked out in the first month, her game plan and what she has lined up. So she's been rocking some money, her and Jake. So that's the first big deal. National Convention, celebration. With the COVID, this has been an interesting opportunity how we're going to schedule this. So I'm really excited about what we're going to do, and I'm real upset about what we're going to do. And the reason I'm excited is we're going to take the top 25 agency managers and the top 42 producers in the country. That eliminates 500 people, or actually 1,000, but 500 other people that I know really good that we can't invite you to National Convention. We are so upset about it, but we're excited about the few that were coming. And we're going to broadcast this thing live across the country. Invitations are being sent out as we speak to every single person that's invited. And every top guy that I've talked to is like, I've got this couple. They're going to kill it. You've got to let them go. And I'm going, I can't. It's this COVID restrictions. We have a resort in Florida that's very lenient, and we can get 100 people in, and that is it. So we are stuck with this limitation. We're going to broadcast it. However, I will tell you, we're going to have more local meetings across the country where we can reach out and touch people. I just spent 3 days in Reno, Nevada, and we had 50 people come in and from all around the West Coast, and we had a blast. 3 days, we talked, we trained, we got to know each other. It was awesome. The first one that we're setting up is actually at the same place that we're doing the National Convention. So we're reserving the convention room for Sunday night. So like we'll start at 7 o'clock Sunday night and go until 5 p.m. on Monday. So a day and a half. So if you are in the Florida area and you're not invited to National Convention, we can't get you in, you are invited to Sunday night. We're going to have a real strong training and an all-day training. And what we're doing is I've already locked in Megan Wood, #1 in the United States of America. She's staying over, so she'll stay over Sunday and Sunday night, and then Monday to do some training. I'm asking some top recruiters. I'm asking some top builders, and we're saying, hey, we got some special people that are going to stay from National Convention and train on Sunday night and Monday. Jeremico Edwards is from Detroit, and he's one of them, and Billy Crane. I've asked Jeremico to stay over, and he's like, 100%. I was like, all right, I got your hotel room. So he's got a couple people he's bringing in from Detroit. So if you want to fly your people in, or if they want to come in and get out of the COVID mess wherever they are, come into Florida, because Florida's opened up a little bit more lenient, not completely opened up, but they're more lenient. So on Sunday night and Monday, we are going to training. I'm working on one in Dallas. I'm working one in Kansas City, or right outside of Kansas City. I've got one in Denver that I'm planning. I'm planning one in Melbourne, Florida. Looking at one in Greenville, South Carolina. So we're going to do a lot of meetings across the country really fast in the first quarter, but National Convention will not be here. But if you will hold on to your tickets, we'd like to just transfer them to when we can either do an event in your area or another convention. I will say that we're not, if somebody's like got to have the money for lead credit, we don't have any problem with it. But main thing is we got to get this convention in and pull the group together. And it is going to create sort of a pool, because where we had to just draw the line, it is upsetting. I know one of my guys, he told his people, he said, look, y'all just going to have to be higher, closer to the top, and so that y'all qualify. He said, I just can't have all my people uninvited. So he's kind of hard on his people. I like that, because if you're hard on them in practice, you don't have to be hard on them in the game. All right, so National Convention, I can't express how upset I am that everybody can't come in. That's just the way it's got to be, the way the government is running things this week and next month. Who knows what's going to be next. All right, the next thing is we have new agent levels charts, new super PAC, and I think you're going to be absolutely thrilled. We reduced the width requirements a little bit, and we brought the volume requirements down a little bit as far as promotions. So all those are being loaded up on a private Facebook. They'll be emailed out. I think we're going to hand them out to y'all. Eventually, y'all get a copy of those, and you can see the changes. I'm going to hit this again, but I want to start. I want to start prepping with y'all with something, and you know what? I'm gonna say it. Okay. You know how we did 40 appointments this year? And we had people that were writing 20,000 and 15,000 start writing 80,000 and 90,000 and 60,000. And people said, it's impossible. And we said, no, it's not that hard. Just on Mondays, you book 20 appointments for Tuesday and Wednesday. And then Thursday, you book 20 appointments for Friday and Saturday. And our production just went through the roof. Well, out in Reno, we got to talking. We got talking about it on the jet on the way back. Got to talking about, I went to some of my advisors, and I said, you know, there's no reason we shouldn't contact 40 new people every single week. That's right. Waitresses, Uber drivers, cousins, family members, people in our phone. Here we are at Christmas holidays. How many new people should you meet a week? And we said 40. How about if your downline says, I've got 3 people I want you to call. You call all 3 of them, talk to them about the business. That's 3. You talk to 3 for each one of them. That's 9. So you're up to 12 people in an hour and a half. So if you did the math and just spent 15 minutes talking with 40 people, what's the math on that? I think it ends up being less than 20 hours a week spent talking. Can you imagine if every single one of us in the country met and talked to 40 new people every single week? So if you booked 40 appointments, you see 40 clients and talk to them about the business, share the opportunity, send them a video, that counts. So now you're recruiting and knocking out your contacts. But a person that's not doing that many appointments, can they do 40 new people? You come up with 10 hours, I come up with 20. So I don't know how we did that, but it's less than 168. It's less than 40. But it's what it's worth for your freedom. So we've got, now here's the crazy thing. I'm not going to get into it today, but you would not believe the meanings behind 40-40. If you start listening to this, in the Bible, the Bible, 136 times it talks about 40. I wrote down a couple of them. 40 days of rain during the flood. Noah sending forth a raven after 40 days. Christ appears for 40 days after the resurrection. And just 136 different 40s. And it's got so many meanings that has to do with stability, has to do with completion, has to do with a solid foundation. It just goes on and on and on how 40. And when you put it together, it has a bigger meaning where you got like an overall arch, like an angel watching. I said, what is it? We're going with it. Does that make sense? I just started getting the cold chills. I said, we're going with this 40-40 in 2021, and it's going to be 10 times as good as 2020. Woo! If y'all hadn't heard, Integrity is looking for more partners. And if there's rumors, there's strong rumors that we've already got 2 of our managers becoming partners and real strong rumors about 2 more. So imagine how many partners we can break when we go 40-40. With all the changes that's happened, the 22% increase across the board, the Medicare that's coming out, it's just a recruiting strategy to die for. This could get crazy in 2021. So what I'm doing is, here we're coming up Christmas, don't wait till day 1 to get started. Let's get our mind right. Let's start meeting people. Let's start offering them opportunity. And people were asking me, like, how would you recruit to Medicare? And I've done it in front of quite a few people. You're talking to somebody, you meet them, they look familiar. It's a free government product that we need help signing up people, and you get a check for signing them up to the tune of $300 or $400. And then if you know anybody else that will help us sign up, this is every time somebody turns 65, and there's just thousands of people turning 65. They don't understand the benefits. We explain the benefits to you. We took you through a training program. It's a government-funded training program. You get through that. Then you help people sign up, and you get paid $300 or $400 a pop. Yikes! Free. And then as you're doing this, you'll find money in checking accounts, savings accounts, 401ks in the market, and the people that are turning 65 really don't like the risk, and we will move it to a secure location that their money will never go backwards for free. Sometimes we'll give them a bonus of money for free. We do the service, and we get paid from the insurance company. The client doesn't pay anything. So it's free to move money, free to sign them up on a government contract. You say, the only thing that we do is we do have a savings account, or not a savings account, but we have a strategy that they can save up money in life insurance policies. Does that make sense? So it's, I would say I'm in the 99% range if I explain it to people that they're interested in looking at it. and some of them pursue it and some of them don't. I just hung up with one that he's fired up out of his mind, got his first check. And again, it was an Uber driver that I met, recommended another Uber driver, and he got started. He said he got his first check today, so he was or deposit, so he was all fired up. They are out there, people. It's going to be a crazy recruiting. I want to do a little bit of recognition. Oh, I got my Facebook. Hey, what's happening? I forgot y'all are there. What's happening? Can y'all see? You can see here. We can see there. Good stuff. 40-40. Well, think.
Boom.
Big meaning. Can you do it? Look, I got Alara's there. Ray's. Mercedes. All right. Jason Molina. Man, your name keeps popping up, dude. Keep giving them big checks, bro. Jeremico Edwards. Jeremico, it looks colder there than it is here.
It sure is.
You don't mind coming down for Florida for extra day, do you?
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, good stuff. And so I'm thinking every one of y'all are invited. Everybody on here that I see is invited to National Convention. I'm excited about seeing you guys in Florida in the new year. It's going to be crazy. We're going to kick it off. Okay, let's look at these production for the week. Crazy numbers for the week. Here we go. Here we go. Fennell Easterl. I can't say his name. Fennell, under Andy Riddle's team, turned in 31,000. 4 life applications for 31,000. Nina Wilson, 9 apps for 18,000. Tucker Parrish, 7 apps for 13,000. That's in a week. That's submitted. Issue paid. Listen to this. Tad Peterson issued 23 apps for 7,300. Linda Goebel, 6 apps for 7,300. Robert Sarge Wilson, 8 apps for $8,000. Mark Hutchinson, 7 apps for $8,000. Adam Johnson, 16 apps for $9,000. Jeremico, right there. Jeremico knocked out 12 issue paid applications for $9,000. Kerry Williams knocked out 8 apps for almost $10,000. Tucker Parrish, part of Brandon Beal's team, $10,000, 6 apps issued. Chris Long, there he is. Where's Chris? There go Chris right there. Chris Long knocked out 12,900 this week, the 9 issue paid apps. Debbie Ben, $13,000 this week, issue paid, a week. We were talking about you writing $10,000 a month, 13 in a week. Megan Wood, 35 apps issued this week for 13,000. And Belle Krause, who says she's going to win the cruise, she says she's going to win the cruise in January. 15,000 for 13 apps this week. Woohoo! Way to go, Belle Krause. Belle, what do you think? You serious about that winning the trip in the first month?
100% serious, Andy. We're going to win the trip by January 31st.
That kind of eliminates excuses from people saying, I'm trying. I sure would like to win a cruise. Oh, come on. Let's get with it. Thank you, Billy. Better late than never. I got you. All right, let's go to the Rolex. Where are we on the Rolex?
I'll read it out if you want me to.
Thank you, but this is the Forrester's Rolex, 58,900. Looks like Stephanie Rodriguez is going to take it. What are we? What's today? The 23rd. So she's got maybe 5 more days to hold on. All right. What is next? Forrester's. Oh, Forrester's is giving away cash. I think that's what you scrolled through the first one. Go all the way back up to Forrester's. Let's see if that's what it is. Is that what it is? They're giving away $20-some thousand. Forrester's is. Debbie Ben looks like it's going to, well, I shouldn't say looks like. She is, well, it does look like it. She's at 18,000 and only 5 days to go. Looks like Stephen Davies is going to pick up $500. So you guys, it's not much difference in the premium. We got 5 more days to keep pushing on Forrester's. Okay, scroll on down. I'm not sure if I'm talking to Billy or who we've got the $10,000 challenge. I see everybody wearing those shirts, posting them up. How many of those have we moved? See how many we've got? We've got 200 to move. We've already moved 155, so a few more of the 10,000 per week Warrior Challenge. All right. This is the Rolex contest that is just everybody's fighting for. So Brant Swindell is fighting to hang on to number 13. Robert Wilson, Joe Dukes, Terry Edwards. You are so close, Terry. 301 versus 311. Billy Crane's close. Evie Patzer. Hold. Go back down to the green. Go back to the green. Megan Wood. Look at this. Megan Wood is 660 versus 437. Almost a 200,000 point margin of victory. Here's what I'm predicting. Belle Krause is going to give Megan Wood a run for her money next year. That's what I'm predicting. I'm thinking Mark Hutchinson is going to get spurred by his wife and children to not let these women whoop him. This is what I see in the future, Terry. Katrina Gustin is not going to, she can be the number 2 woman, but she will not settle for number 3. She's not going to put up for number 3. Jane Hill, another lady, is going to kick butt. Look at all these women up here. Nina Wilson. Here we go. Way to go, Jonathan Yakey. Thank you for stepping in there, buddy. I appreciate you with Megan. Paul Menachino is not putting up with this. There's Belle Krause. So this group right here is going to be going for number 1. Michelle Alleman, she ain't liking, I mean, she's always in the top 3 or 4. She ain't liking this 9 stuff. Adam Johnson, same thing. Chris Long has come on strong the last 3 months, so he's going to be crazy next year. Marcus Richardson, look like you can get a Rolex. This is interesting right here. 13 Rolexes end of the year. They'll be picking these Rolexes down at the convention in Florida. Okay, what's up next, Billy? Vested. Mark Muller is still winning with 1 application. Justin Balick is so close with 29,000. Otsoy, I was with Otsoy in Reno, Nevada. He swears he is going to be number 1 and get that $1,500. Amaka Arizu, Jane Hill, Sean Boone up in there. Sean Boone got 5 IULs issued. Jeremy Patton, Miles Gatos, Joe and Tony Walker. I was hanging out with them. And Katrina Gustin. And then all these people are getting a Fidelity and Guaranteed vest. All right, scroll it down, sir. Thailand. Do we have any new Thailand winners? Yeah, here we go. Mike and Carrie Williams. Woohoo! Mike and Carrie won the extension. So they are not only going to Phuket, they're going on with us to Chiang Mai. James and Pam Alara, we'll go back to them. We'll look at them on the screen. They're on there. They're headed to Phuket and Chiang Mai. And then Rojas is really close. Quite a few. Oh, new trip altogether. Jason Molina just won the trip. James and Stephanie Blas just won it. Irish, she goes. Elena Emadobi. She's been telling me it's in the bag. So congratulations, Emadobi. Way to go, girl. Nick Neitzel's not far away. Mike and Brittany Rodriguez and Lou Abadi. Come on, Lou. You got to do it. 5 days. Push it through. All right, good stuff. Who's next? Managers. Any new managers? No new managers. Oh, these crazy $100,000 cash. This wraps up at the end of the year. Andy Riddle looks like he's going to walk away with $25,000. Mike Rodriguez, 10. Olga and Jason Massas, 5. But this race goes all the way through the end of the year. It's kind of like Andy Riddle is in recruiting, as Megan Wood is in the production. 160. Look at his depth that's coming on strong, too, with 85. All right, so that fight's going to keep going. Let's see what's next. What's the next $100,000? $100,000 non-agency managers. Joseph 2 continues to lead the way. Lou Abadi not too far behind. And Stephanie Rodriguez not too far behind. That accounts for $40,000 of the $100,000 is given away in the top 3. And then there's quite a few more. All right, scroll down. Let's see what the agency managers look like. Agency manager recruiting or non-agency manager. Oh, personal production. My bad. Personal production. Megan Wood kicking butt. Belle Krause, $10,000, Belle. How would that be for extra lead cash starting out January 1. $10,000 of leads. Chris Long, $5,000 worth of leads. Nina Wilson, $4,000 worth of leads. All right, so this one's going to keep going. $300,000 we're giving away. 10X, Karen Hunley, congratulations. And Kyle Weinbrenner had hired Karen. Congratulations, Kyle, breaking a person with a 10,010. Okay, thank you very much. Pull those down. Thank you very much. Good stuff, man. Woo! All right. It's always interesting if your names get called, but listening to somebody else's name, I get bored with them. Don't y'all? Like, hey, my name on there. What do I care? Where's Alara at? Y'all won a trip, baby. You knew it. You ain't surprised. All right. Jeff Bright, are you in here? I want to share a story with you guys as we kick off something. It's a parable. Y'all know how, y'all heard me hit them, we say hit them with a Y and pop them with a parable.
That's right.
We got a parable to tell you. If you can get your mind right, what we do is I'd like to take you to an island in the sea, out in the ocean. It is not developed. It might be worse than third world. And there's two young'uns that are hungry. And normally what they do is trace down hogs, scrape up berries, and their names are Andy and Jeff.
Just so happens.
Just so happens. It's a coincidence.
It's Andy.
And we are hungry. I mean, them boys are hungry. Andy and Jeff are hungry. And I'm meeting people like normal. And I found this guy. He's got like this, I guess you'd call it a restaurant, but it's bottom line, it's just like a little hut. But he's serving food, you know, trading goods. And he says, y'all boys want something to do? We said, yeah. He said, I'll pay you money, and y'all won't have to do all that hunting and fishing. Y'all can just work a job, and you can have it a whole lot easier because I do all the big marketing and have all the overhead, and all y'all got to do is go get the water for me. We're like, sounds good. So he gives us 2 buckets. Oh, this one right. I mean, Jeff, he's excited. We got a job.
Steady work.
Steady work.
I like steady work.
And Andy, he's like, this is going to be a mess. Because the fresh water spring is on the other side of the island. Rocks, briars, no seams. They got them no seams. Sun beating down. Go over there and get 2 buckets of water and bring it back. 2 buckets each.
He's already complaining. We ain't even started the job.
I'm not happy about this. So so Andy's telling Jeff, he says, this is stupid, man. Go all the way back, get paid, then we got to go all the way back and get paid. It just seems like we're on a merry-go-round. So
he said he's going to mess it up before we get started.
I'm trying to think of something. I said, I can't do this the rest of my life. This don't make no sense. Jeff's like, we can make good money. It's steady. You shouldn't ought to complain. I said, what we need to do, we need to come up with some strategy to get the water from over yonder to over here where we don't have to keep carrying it and going back and forth.
He's dreaming and scheming again. Every time we get good work, that's what he does.
So Andy spilled the bucket one time and then didn't get paid but half of it because it got spilled. I had to go the whole way, the whole trip.
Well, I decided this. I had a bright idea, no pun intended. That he's complaining about moving all that water with these 2 buckets. Let's get a bigger bucket.
Get a bigger bucket. It's a heavier bucket.
You know what he wanted to do before this dreaming and scheming? He's thinking about, well, why don't we just hire some people and share the profit with them? I'm like, you don't get away all our money.
I was trying to multi-level the water. I was like, we get them, give them some of the food, give them some of the money. And so Andy came up with an idea. He said, what about we get some bamboo and just start, figure out a way to get the water where you got the gravity pulling it and build a pipeline all the way from the fresh water all the way to the restaurant. Jeff talking about, it'll take forever.
Yeah.
That'll be impossible. Where are we going to get the string? Where are we going to get the rope? Where are we going to get the bamboo? How are we going to keep our job and build a pipe?
Yeah, because he told me it's going to take 6 months to get this pipe going. I'm sitting there going, that nice man down by the river is paying us good money.
So I'm like, dude, if we don't start right now, we ain't never going to do this. We got to start now. And the sooner we start, the sooner we get it done, and we'll just have water steady coming in, and we'll just make him pay us by the hour every time that water coming in. And if we want some water, we just scoop some out. We can turn that water on. We can turn it off. We can control it. And as soon as, so we go to work. I mean, Andy and Jeff go to work, get the pipeline. No sooner they got started, Albright said, you know what, I'll do another pipe. We're going to get one to come into our house. We're going to get another pop, see if we can get another restaurant owner. Because the maintenance of keeping these pipes up just ain't nothing compared, you know, to the maintenance of the pipeline. There's some work involved, but not like carrying buckets all the way from the other side of the island. Can you imagine the arguments going on trying to build this thing? Animals tearing stuff down, get about halfway built, they tear something down, you had to put it back up. People telling you crazy, it ain't never been done before, you can't do it. Him wanting to keep a job, wanting to have a steady pay.
I'm laughing at him all the way until 6 months. If we fast forward 6 months, I got a bad back, I'm all sunburned because I didn't stop. He stopped. Now who's benefiting? I'm going to have to ask him to hire me.
It's called the pipeline. We got to start on this pipeline sometime. We might as well start now, Annette. I understand it looks crazy, but compare crazy to forever go and get that water and bringing it back. This is on, what page was it? Page 83? 63.
63,
Green Book.
yeah.
Page 63 of the Green Book, the parable of the pipeline.
We call it in the Green Book, power of the pipeline.
The power of the pipeline.
Yeah.
So, if we start cold contacting people now, we start meeting people. I hit them hard at this in Reno. I had a couple preachers out there, and I asked them. I said, you know, you feel like your life's set. You going to church. You got everything going good. Are y'all inviting more people to your church? Or are you just saying, kind of to Hades with them? What do I care about anybody else? And it was kind of interesting because we were actually meeting in one of them. He does a church like once a week on Wednesday nights, Friday nights, and he uses this retail space. And we were in there, and he's like, I never thought about it like that. I said, how do you think about it? Like, this is the amount of people that go to our church, and we don't tell anybody about it unless somebody comes begging us? Or do you actually tell people about what's going on and about Jesus and about your church and how much fun y'all having? Or do you just wait for them to find you? And they were like, you know. And so we actually met a few people. I showed them how it works. I hit them with a, you look familiar, which is easy as everything. Because everybody looks, after a while, everybody looks familiar. So they started meeting people and seeing how easy it was. And I said, what's going to come first? You invite them to your church. Then when they're inside, you start talking to them about a money-making opportunity, something on the side. Or do you talk to people about a money-making opportunity and they get all fired up and you say, hey, you want to come to my church? Does that make sense? You put these two things together and you make your mind up. You want to help people or not. Jeff was telling me about one of my guys that I've been helping build a pipeline with. Listen to this. He's built up a pipeline that this year, he's made $393,000. And if he gets hurt, takes a trip for 3 months next year, it'll only affect about 4% of his income. Like 96% of that $400,000 is override income. If you can imagine that. That's the power of a pipe. I was showing it to Jeff because he's like, how much that digger make? And I pulled it up. It's like $393,000. And I think from personal production was like maybe 12 grand or 14 grand. That crazy talk? Well, It is, if you like me, I call it ambitiously lazy. Because I have other people that say like, Bo, you work. I'd be like, I'm lazier and you know what. I just don't want to commit to working when I don't want to work. I don't like committing to one-time effort. I'm trying to figure out a way to have a pipeline or a river of money. And whenever I need some money, I just scoop out a bucket load of that money and pull it up and do what I need to do with it. Y'all tracking with this? Well, think about my parable. Paul Roberts, how's that parable going with you, bruh? How's that pipeline coming?
Pipeline is strong. Pipeline is strong, man. We're building it, baby. We got other people that are understanding the power of the pipeline, understanding page 61 of the Green Book, and we're just following it. And we're building more, finding more, building incredible, phenomenal relationships with some great people. And what's cool about the power of the pipeline, Andy, is you build that pipeline, and then you go build another pipeline, and you go build another pipeline, and you go build another pipeline. And then what you have to do is have leadership that control each pipeline. That way you don't got to maintain it. That means you got to trust, you got to build trust, and you build great people, great leaders, and you just keep doing it over and over and over and over again. And like the book says, you don't even have to have a good personality and you can make a crap load of money here. If you just continue to build them pipelines, build leadership, and keep going on and on and on. And, someone like me that barely graduated high school can make millions here and can even considered to be a partner. It's pretty phenomenal. Pretty phenomenal what we've done in the insurance business. And now we got Glow, dear Lord. I can go on and on about Glow, but the possibilities right now, Andy, are endless, especially with the chain of great news that you have given us over the past, it seems like 30 days, maybe 45 days, but we've just been hit with such incredible great news over the last 30 to 45 days that it's now time more than ever for us to build these pipelines, to understand the power of the pipeline, to understand what it'll do for your future, to understand the legacy that's going to build for you and your family. And we get to do it with a team that we love, and a team that is coming together and saying, you know what, we're going to win, and we're going to win together. We're not going to let each other down. We're not going to let each other down. We're going to fight like hell for one another, and we're going to make this the greatest family in the world.
Your financial outlook before you joined the Alliance, it seemed like I remember it was a mess.
It was a mess. And I'm going to try to say some things without getting myself in trouble, but a complete mess. And just this week, I had to hire someone to pay them $50,000. And I go, wow. I remember a time when if you'd have just given me $50,000 when I first started. And Andy, here's the crazy thing. When I found out the price of hiring this person was only about $50,000, I was relieved. I was like, okay, good. It's only $50,000. I'm like, how did I get to this point in my life that I'm like, cool, it's only $50,000. That's a phenomenal feeling. But yeah, you're right. I started off, I couldn't pay attention. Cars were repossessed, house stolen. My wife hung out in the food line for 3 hours to get food for the kids. Just a complete destruction. And here I am talking to somebody, and they said it'd be about $50,000. And no kidding, Andy, I wish there was a camera, because I was like, all right, cool. And I walked away, and then it kind of hit me like, did I just say how cool for that? I mean, I would have gotten in a fist fight for $50K when I first started. And now I just spent it and act like it was no big deal. How'd that happen?
Gave it away. Gave it away.
Gave it away. I'm trying to help the economy.
Anything that you do to give back matters, Paul.
Thank you. I will spend it.
So think about this. Riddle, on the other hand, Riddle was already making $200,000 carrying buckets back and forth. How long would it take your bucket run, Andy? How long was your run before you could come back home? What did they make you do? How far did they make you walk?
Yeah, I traveled 50 weeks a year, Andy. My territory was the central part of the United States, so I was on an airplane living on airplanes and hotel rooms. I was never home at night. I traveled from Sunday afternoon to Friday night every single week.
Sunday, you would go out to get some water, and you wouldn't make it back until when?
Friday evening, the last flight home into Jacksonville.
That's a
Hell of a bucket run.
That's what you're doing. Think about it. You were running buckets from Sunday night. You'd go head out to get to that water about Wednesday, and then head back and get to the house about Friday night.
Yeah, just all over central part of the United States, just seeing that beautiful flatland country.
How much was they paying you to run and get them buckets of water for a week?
I mean, I was making about $225,000 a year. So
you figure out how much is that per run? Do that 220 divided by 50 weeks. You had some big buckets you was carrying with you.
Yeah, it was $4,500 a week.
It's not bad for carrying buckets.
Yeah, and it's amazing. It's just with building the pipeline and building things that you have, it's crazy to me to think for $4,500 a week I did that. And people would die for that to make that kind of income. And now it's almost like I was an idiot.
Jeff, he's still carrying buckets. He don't care.
The power of the pipeline not only has changed my life, but changed my family's life in the sense that, with the ability to duplicate with your pipeline that you've put in and copy it, it really takes the limits off, the lid off my limits. Because no matter what I really did, that 4,500, they were basically buying my week or buying all my time, and they weren't going to really give me any more for my time because I didn't have much more time to give them. And with everything that you've built with the pipeline, with the Alliance, just takes the lids off that in the aspects. It gives me the time to make endless amount of money and have time to enjoy it, which is just awesome in that sense. So building the pipeline that you have, Andy, I appreciate it every day, and the lifestyle that it's afforded me, and someone as average as me, where it gives the ability to go out there and build a team and make more money than I'm worth, just because of the team that surrounds us. It's unbelievable to me, and all the improvements that you've done over the last 45 days. We had the greatest opportunity in the world before that, and then you added all these enhancements and things on there. I always like, you always talk about when you go watch NC State play, you're okay if it's a blowout. You're not hoping for a good game. You hope they kill them. You actually sometimes even hope the other team doesn't show up. With all the enhancements you've given us in the Alliance over the last 45 days, it's a blowout now. The other ones aren't even going to be showing up just because of how far ahead we are of everyone, from going from the best to legendary levels that you've put in place for us. So thank you so much, Andy.
We pulled up your numbers too.
Yeah, we did.
Jeff Wright was fired up.
Yeah, you're going to have to take me to Chick-fil-A next time we room together.
I'll take Jeff to Chick-fil-A.
So it's funny. I had an opportunity, speaking of the Wolfpack, I had an opportunity to, the athletic director wanted me to help him out and fly him somewhere. And he knows how this works, right? Like if he asked me to do something, I'm like, hey, I got a couple of guys over there in Jacksonville, Florida. I'd like to hang out with us. He's like, whatever. He said, you get them in. So I knew that Chris Long and Andy Riddle were able to get off work like that and not have to check with anybody. That's kind of cool to me to have the flexibility to say, sure, we can do it. So I think I'll see y'all January 2nd, January 2. We'll be over there.
Fired up about it. Thank you so much.
Gator Bowl. And we don't care if the other team, we do not look for a good game. We look for a victory, baby. We want to crush them. So.
Hey, don't you think when I came here 10 years ago, the way you created that pipeline, you had some gravity going. It was coming out pretty good. But as you made these improvements, Gravity went, you created more gravity.
Nice.
And now it's people drinking out of a fire hose.
He said, Jeff said we should get some, we should get a video and have some of you guys put your head on like those little dancers or whatever, and have them holding a bucket and have the money just coming flowing out, and they just catching it in a bucket and saying, "Look, here's my money from the pipeline this week." I see the Leventoviches on there. These guys got a heck of a pipeline going. You guys fired up about coming down to Florida?
Yes, we are.
Very much.
Y'all done
We're
had the
excited.
COVID, ain't you? Y'all done got the COVID behind you, hadn't you? Or did you?
Yeah. It's behind us.
Well, good. Y'all come on down here in Florida. We're going to have a good time. How's y'all's pipeline coming?
The pipeline, like Paul was saying, we got different people that are growing their pipelines. It's coming in from all different angles. We're finding new people every day that want to join in the team. We're grateful, Andy, for what you and Jane and this team has put together. I mean, just all this good stuff that's coming out, the 22% and the Clo, and just nobody has anything like we have with this team, and nobody's got Andy Albright. Nobody else out there's got Andy Albright helping them out and helping them grow. And there's nothing like this business. So we're fired up about what we got going on.
Hey, we're having a good time, and it's exciting seeing people winning, using the tools that are out there. You know, I'm looking on people you've invited here and people we know of having jamming weeks, whether it's because they're popping big annuities or because they're booking 40 appointments a week or because they're talking to 40 people a week. You know, just love the fact that people are using these tools. Got more people excited about making Medicare a big part of their next year. We had a lot of people start to learn a little bit this year, and now you've amped up the compensation on what we can do there. It's like we're giddy as we're laying out plans for this next year and being able to be there at this national conference with a few key people to kind of crystallize that and make it an awesome smoking year and moving towards some. I think we're going to see a number of hierarchies hitting $1 million, $2 million a month as we get into this next year. So going to be some big things happening.
Hey, I see Jake and Varay on here. Take us through that pipeline. Can you list all the people that got down to them through that pipeline that y'all built?
It is. That is a pain. Yeah. So real quick. So we go from you to a guy who introduced you to Alex Avian, to me and Noel. And then we found Paul and Val Epstein down in Phoenix. And Paul and Val had their good friends from Alaska, Joseph Dukes. And then Joseph was running an ad up in Salt Lake City, and he found a guy. And that person, I just remember that he was living in a funeral home. I remember we were doing a business meeting, and we had to stop because somebody had to bring a body through the middle of it. But from there, he hired his cousin, who hired his brother. I remember he was like selling like turf to golf courses and other people. And then he hired his next door neighbor, who was a licensed agent that was working for a guy who was being investigated by the FBI. So he was looking to get out of where he was at. And so then he hired a guy that I remember we had at our conference. This guy was like 45 years old, and he was running around on Heelys. Y'all know them Heelys? Them the sneakers with the wheels on it? Some 45-year-old dude at our conference with Heelys. And then he hired a guy who was doing good with us for a bit, and he ran an ad in Albuquerque and found this lady who was fun and crazy, wrote a few annuities, refused to go to any of our conferences, and she hired a guy named Jerry Gonzalez. And then Jerry Gonzalez hired his daughter, Jera. And then Jera found Jake and Varay. Wow. We got some depth coming up under there.
And then what's going on under Jake and Varay? What y'all got going on? Y'all are continuing the pipeline down? Y'all hiring like crazy?
We are growing the pipeline. We are growing the pipeline and looking for the more leaders that we can, like you're talking, doing the spreading it down and branching it off.
We're just getting started.
Roots going down deeper and deeper. I've got a book that I'm not going to say it on here, but I want to post it. It's so simple to build this business. I say it so many times, and I mean it. It's meeting people, getting to know people, building that relationship, and then immediately going down in their relationships who they know, and immediately going down in their relationships. Your first year, when a person first gets started, the first week is the best time to talk to them about who they know and blowing this network up. And the faster you can get down 12 deep, the faster you're going to find 2 or 3 people in that lineup that get it. If you go wide, it's going to be so many more than 12 before you can get good people. Driving that thing deep, just dropping down. So we're glad that we found y'all. And you never know who above you, all the way up to me, you never who's going to start exploding by putting in width. Because of that pressure of the person at the bottom coming up, it puts pressure on every spoke, every person gets pressure on them to put more in, and you never know who they're going to hire that's going to blow the whole organization up. It gets kind of crazy. So you go wide just to go deep to build those roots down. So congratulations to y'all. And I'm thinking James and Laura are not far away from the same story. How many people y'all hired to get down to them, right? Am I right? Isn't that kind of the same Joe Duke's hierarchy, something like that? And we've traveled with them all over the world. Marcus Richardson, your brother starting to get fired up, man. Have you start working your brother's network?
Yeah, he's actually on his way over here now, and so is his partner. They'll be here in about 30 minutes.
So people that he's hired are on the way over to your house?
Yes.
It's crazy. It's just steady. If you'll just stay at it steady, and then go down and drop down. If when you sit in one spot and wait for it come to get you, it ain't gonna do it. But if you'll go from spot to spot to spot and chase this thing around the country, like what Andy Riddle described, people will do it to go get the water and bring it back, but I don't know if they'll do it if they'll front load it. Because when you build a pipeline, you're working all this time for nothing. Versus if you do, it'd be interesting to graph that out, because if you're doing it for a job or if you're doing it just for water, you get money every week, you get money every month. So you work and you get paid, you work and you get paid. With a pipeline, you feel like you're working and it's nothing coming in. And you do quite a bit of nothing coming in until you get that pipeline built. Then it's like, oh my God. Here's what you'll be saying. Why did I take so long to build it? Why did I not build it with way more energy? Why didn't I travel way more? Why did I stay home? Why didn't I just stay gone? You won't say, gosh, man, I built this and I've got $500,000 coming in. Wish I'd have dragged it out a little bit longer. I wish it hadn't have been painful. If I could have spread it out over 7 years or 12 years. I've not heard anybody say that after they built it. While they're building it, yeah, I hear it all the time. But not it's kind of like life insurance. You'll hear some people complain about what they got to pay until the insurance company gets to write them a check. And then they'll be saying things like, why didn't we pay more? Why didn't we commit more? Yeah, why didn't we invest more? Why didn't we go all in? Why didn't you we know we're going to die. We knew he's going to die. We know Granddaddy going to die. Why we didn't put more insurance in? Yeah. That's the way people are with a pipeline. I'm going like, why didn't you put more in? I don't know. Just at the time, I didn't think about it. It's going to happen if you'll just get after it. And this book I'm going to put up talks about that.
I want to ask you that question when you said get width above you after you get the pipeline started. Mm-hmm. That width, does it cause more water pressure, harder water pressure to come out?
Width will not cause pressure. As a matter of fact, width is the only reason you go width is to get more depth. Okay? So if you have one organization, you're hiring underneath it, you see that money to trickle in. But what happens is the pressure that rises up, mm-hmm. you need to go over here and find another place to go down to take the pressure off of you.
Oh, it takes the pressure off.
Right. Because that's why if you go 12 deep, and let's say you're 12 wide, you don't have so much pressure when it's coming up. But the people in between, in between Jake and Veray and in between Mike Leventovich, as the pressure is on them to put in width and take pressure off. That's why when you get the person at the bottom going up strong, everybody spreads out. So if you'll just spread out ahead of time, and anytime you hit a roadblock down in here, you just go over here and work with this person. So the more people that you have in width, the more easy places that you can drop down. That kind of answer the question you're saying?
So it's like we had here on here, it says it's more proactive thinking.
Yeah,
my future is going to be more favorable if I'm proactive doing it that way.
It's like people that know they're going to die do more than a person who don't ever think they're going to die. A person who knows they want to retire does more so they can retire. A person that wants to pay for their kid's wedding, your daughter's 2 years old, and you're like, man, we're going to have a Cinderella wedding. When? Tomorrow. Well, then we need to start working now if we're going to have something to happen. Every time you think about the past, like I have some guys say, yeah, Andy, I would do what you're saying, but let me tell you what happened to me. And I'm like, are you getting ready to tell me something from the past? Yeah, guess what happened? And I'm like, oh, God. Because anytime you talk about the past, it pulls you back. Anytime you think about anything in the future, it pulls you forward. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So, and I've heard people say, well, I read this book, said you need to be in the present. Okay, be in the present. What's going to happen to you tomorrow? Well, I ain't going to think about tomorrow. Oh, God. Now, they start talking about the past, they go backwards. Talk about the future, you go forward. Talk about now, you sit still. This is simple. Now, I remember the first time I heard it, I was just like, if it's this simple, why don't I just do that? And so I started talking about it. I started talking about dying, started talking about when my kids got older. I started talking, and now I'm getting to see a lot of things that happen. And now I'm 57 this year, so I'm thinking, all right, kids are paying for the kids' weddings and helping them get jobs, and I've got connections. Well, next thing we're going to do is we're going to have grandkids. That makes sense. The future moves you now. It makes you start thinking. It gets you off of zero.
It makes me think of this right here. If you wait on consequence to make you urgent, you're just going to be in a reactive mode. The people that can beat the system get urgent without a consequence driving it. And that is tough for most people, because most people won't move unless there's something making them move. They won't move because it's the right thing to do.
So here was the moral of the parable. We tend to trade time for money. It's a tend. We typical. It's who we are. It's what the masses do. Trade time for money. We focus on the money in the present, but we ignore what's going to happen in the future. Therefore, we should be thinking while we're young, while we're healthy, while we have the energy, we've got to build our pipeline now so that one day when we can't do anything about it, we're taken care of. It ain't complicated. Zig Ziglar says, you can't have everything in life you want if you'll help enough people get what they want. If you only think about yourself, go and get in that water. I say go and get in that water is no problem, but for me it's my problem because I'm thinking, the only person I'm helping is myself, and the other thing is I'm helping myself and my back's killing me. You with me? I'm helping myself and that sun's beating down. I'm helping myself and them no-see-ums tearing up my ankles. Got chiggers going through them woods. So I get it sometimes when people are like, you don't care about nobody else. I go like, I cold contact every person I meet. Every person I see, not me. If I see them, I was telling y'all guys might like this. It's so bad with me. If we're out and you see a Chris and Courtney Long, like Andy Riddle said, he sat down in a Japanese restaurant and Chris and Courtney Long, they didn't even know each other, and y'all started talking to each other. Is that right, Chris? Is that where he got y'all from? Chris and Courtney, were both of y'all there?
Yes, sir. We're both there. We're out on a date night.
Did he hit you with, you look familiar, or y'all eat here often, or?
We just started talking, and then it kind of just led to work and business, and we just talk just like you would anybody sitting down.
So I was talking about this in Florida. My children, if they see a Chris and Courtney and they're walking, me, Jane, the kids, they'll hit me. They're like, Daddy, look, they'd be good right there. And then I'd go meet them. Okay?
Taught them to be prospectors.
Yeah, they were. They knew the look. You know, they said that couple right there. Or if they were nice, if they had nice people, they'd be good. They'd be good in network, Daddy. And I was telling it, and it's funny. I jumped in the car with me and Brandon, my son-in-law, married my daughter. We were riding down the road. He said, "That was funny what you said. Haley still does it to me all the time." He said, "She'll go, Brandon. They'd be good. Get them." I was like, my girl. So we were in a private airport. We were having sushi the last night I was there in Reno with the Otsoys, and they were telling me, yeah. So I don't even know the lineup. It goes about 5 people, and then the Carries, and then about 5 more people, and then Osuna, Marvin Osuna, and then Otsoy. So this deep pipeline I got, I'm talking to the Otsoys, and I say, yeah, I'm headed back to St. Pete tomorrow and on a jet. And he was like, well, you know, we've got people in Tampa. I was like, you've got people in Tampa. And I'm thinking, I got an empty jet going to St. Pete, which is 30 minutes from Tampa, and that's 10 or 12 deep in my group. I said, hey, jump on a jet, go to Tampa. He's like, what? I said, jump on a jet, go to Tampa. So they jumped on a jet and went to Tampa and met. And that night, I told him, I said, I can't do anything with you. My schedule's insane. But we land. He went and had dinner with his people and is driving that thing deeper. Just like that. Is that crazy talk? That just seems... Oh, so get this. We're sitting in the airport, not like a commercial, but we're sitting around drinking coffee and cappuccino. And I'm talking about this meeting people. And there is this dude sitting there, and I hit Otsoy. I said, you see that guy right there? I said, look at him. He reminds me of that guy named Christian in the meeting. He's like, kinda. I said, he looks like that other guy named Evan. I said, why don't you just go over there and tell him he looks familiar and try to figure out how you know him? And he says, okay, if you know Otsoy, okay. So he goes right over there. It wasn't 4 minutes. Hey, come over here. He's the CEO of my company. Turns out I know him because he works. Otsoy's office is about 4 blocks away, and this kid was working at some delivery service. So they're convinced that he delivered something. I don't know if he did or not, but they're convinced that he delivered something to Otsoy's business. And I'm sure he's got with him. Like he's like, when we get back, we're going to meet just like that, Chris. That's the way it works. And some of you are talking to so many clients. If you'll just remember, think about this. If you'll just remember, 40 a week, you've got to expose your business. Some way, you've got to talk to enough people. Zig Ziglar says, if we will help enough people, we can have anything we want. Not enough of the same people. See how this works? Terry, new in the width and new in the depth. Cold contacts, warm contacts, people you meet, anybody that you've not talked to about this business. Can you explain, Melina? You might as well start today, Bo. You might as well start today. People joining Mary Kay every day. People joining churches every day. People joining Alcoholics Anonymous every day. People going to the bar and they start drinking a different bar. And everybody wants to belong to something. Give them an opportunity, Jeremico. Throw that fishing line out there. Helping people out. And the more you help them on personal development, leadership, teach them how to use the products, the whole teaching process. But you've got to start a new person every week. We need to get in the habit of starting 10 people every week. So what Jeff was pointing at, we put a list together of benefits or different lessons. So watch this. If we will duplicate and not try to innovate, if we could just keep it so simple, building a pipeline, all we got to do is put one piece of bamboo down, another piece of bamboo down, don't complicate it, keep it simple, keep the pipeline moving. That's the first thing we talk about. Next thing is be consistent with your efforts every single day. Predictable, not occasional. It's got to be when I see them, I get them. When I get up in the morning, I get after it. It's like a one-track mind. Premium. Okay, a two-track mind. Premium. You with me? We got to stay on it every single day if we're going to build a pipeline. So, Marcus, when you go to your brother, he's got people going. You can't make Joshua hire people, but he knows people and you can talk to these people. If you don't get hung up on number 2, go to number 3. Be nice, get them started, but don't get hung up on number 3, go to number 4. It's I only want the land connected to my land. I only want to get deeper. Jeremico, you got Rogers, you go over to Rogers' house, sit down with his wife, y'all talk, y'all call people, work his network to get one person, then go to that house, Jeremico, not Rogers, but the other people's house. Go there until you can get out of there. You go there until you can get out of there and you have somewhere else to go. This, if there's anything, when I look at this group, it's Paul's group, Paul Roberts' group, how he's got 5 legs that are dropping down every week. It's a big secret to his network. Paul, would you talk about how I was beating on you, but also you had Tim Goad beating on you, trying to explain to you how simple this is. And I don't think it went into your head that quick. I think it took a little bit before you started catching on. Can you take us back to that moment or that period in time when you were struggling with somebody else's network and you didn't want to do it?
Yeah, I didn't have a networking background. And I remember driving around with Tim Goad for hours in his big white van in Orlando, and he just would explain firewalls. He would explain to me how you built your Amway business. He would explain to me how you would honor your leader in Amway. He explained the purpose and why you do that and the edification behind it. And I was just a sponge, and I would just literally, we would drive around for hours and hours and hours. And I just listened, and it just started to sink in little by little. And the more I kept listening, the more I kept, reading, chapters like the power, the positive power. What is this chapter? Page 61.
Power of the pipeline.
The power of the pipeline. The power of the pipeline. I kept wanting to put positive in there. Positive's not in there.
Power of the positive pipeline.
And if you start reading that, and then you got to read it again and read it again, and then all of a sudden this stuff starts to sink in, and once it starts to trigger inside of you, man, you can't stop it at that point, because then it becomes a game. Then it becomes something I'm addicted to. I'm addicted to help people build businesses. I think I'm a fraud if I don't teach people how to build big businesses. I will lay, edification's always been a funny thing to me. When you edify me, Andy, I get nervous and I work harder because I go, crap, I'm not as good as he says I am. I don't have as many people making the kind of money that I'm making. I got to get more people to make the kind of money I'm making, or I'm a fraud. And so when you understand how this networking works, you're so, it's something I talked to Megan Wood about yesterday. You become so addicted with getting other people to build networks, teaching them the importance of it, and not just assuming, like it says in the 8 steps, if it just took one time for you to say it, we wouldn't need you. It doesn't say that in 8 steps. I reworded it. But basically in 8 steps, it says you got to continue to do this over and over. It's like a shower. You got to constantly remind your team. You got to constantly talk all this stuff. So you teach people around you how to build a network, and you remind yourself that it took you a long time to figure it out. It took a long time for it to click in your head. And you just repetitive. And you just don't let up. And you don't, and then, dude, then you start finding, like, I remember years ago, I had a boss. I was bragging about how my team would die without me. I was bragging. And he pulled me to the side. His name was Pete. He said, Paul, that's the dumbest thing you can say. If you build a team that completely needs you at all times, you've not built a team. You've built nothing. And man, I was 25 years old when he told me that, and that stuck with me. But it really hit me when I got into this network marketing thing with you guys, and I was like, I got it. I got to build legs that hey, look what I did. No, man, the stuff that Kelly's doing, the production they're doing over there, I didn't do that crap. What I did is I brought them to the fire. I brought them to the place. Philip Hebert and what he's doing, man, that dude's good. He's smart, man. He don't need me. I just showed him what we do here, the importance of edification, the importance of the power line, the importance of all these things. And dude, they go off and win. And then you get to go find another one. And then you get to go find another one. And there's another book out there that's absolutely amazing about compound recruiting. And it talks about the power of a big base shop. Like it drives me nuts, Andy, if my base shop isn't performing as good as my other hierarchies. Like if my base shop is getting its butt whooped by Jeremy Patton, I ain't happy. I don't like that, because I feel like I'm letting him down as a leader by not competing with him on a level to where he wants to continue to compete. And I don't want to just have this little itty bitty base shop and then not have all these great hierarchies. I want to continue to build that base shop. And listen, man, it's fun. Dude, it's what a dream. You get to rebuild this all the time. You ever had a job and you fell asleep during the middle of the day because your job sucked and was so boring? This never gets boring. I'm going to go find me another Jake and Veray. I'm going to go find me another Megan. I'm going to go find me another Jeremico. How cool is that? I get to wake up every morning and look for these people and Chris and Courtney and hope they bless my life, right? So, dude, this thing's endless, man. We ain't ever going to get tired of it. I'm 50 years old, Andy. I ain't got no reason to retire. I can do this when I'm 90. I can do this when I'm 100. I get to keep on going because every day's a dream. Every day's like opening a new package of who I'm going to find and who's going to bless us. And our recruiting right now is killing it. I mean, I'm so proud of Tatiana and Tori in our office here. They're working their butts off today. A lot of my agents are taking a little bit of time off to breathe. They're pumping it out right now. In fact, Tori just texted me and said Tatiana hit her goal. And that means I'm going to give Tori $1,000 bonus because she taught Tatiana how to hit her goal. And so she's a little fired up about that. So, dude, this is endless and fun, dude. We just get to do it over and over, build these pipelines, build these leaders, and then just sit back and watch these leaders and smile that you brought them to the dance, baby. Smile that you showed them the place and just say, man, this is good. I get to do life for these people, man. And we get to travel the world together.
It's funny. If you think this is difficult, I'm going to give you something that you can do. No news, no social media, no news, no newspaper, no television, no talk radio for 90 days. If you can't do that, all you got to do is just not listen to negative news. Be nice to people, and the dumber you can be about COVID and the government and what's going on, the dumber you can be about it for 90 days. If somebody tells you about I don't know nothing about it, I'm watching. See what happens. Talk about something else. Talk about their family and get off of that negative stuff and see what happens to you. Because people don't understand how easy this is when they're dealing. Because if you are like thinking, oh man, this is unbelievable, our life's crazy, flip on the news about 5 minutes and you will start appreciating our life. They're talking about it's just, They dying, man. They messed up. It's bad. It's bad in America. And we're sitting over here. We're sitting here trying to motivate people to making $400,000 or $500,000. Like, you're gonna double your business. We gotta go. You gotta get a dream. Or people to make it $100,000 go. You gotta build a pipeline. What a program we've set up. You made me think of two big things. One is this arc keeps getting better and better. Here's the thing I'm on. Here's the kick I'm on. Robbie Kraft knows, the chief of the arc. I want you to be able to look and see how much money's coming in off this week on this pipeline, how much money's coming in this week on this pipeline, how much money's coming in on this pipeline. How much of it is glow, how much of it is spread, how much of it is renewals on this pipeline. So you start seeing the value of each one of your pipelines. They tell me it's coming soon. I'm thinking January it's going to start popping. We're going to see it. So I'm excited about what all Robbie's got going on. This CRM is just going to keep getting better and better. But the power of the premium, the power of the profit from each pipeline coming in is coming, baby. So I'm excited about what's going on. And there's some more shake-up in the makeup. I want to introduce you and make y'all aware of this. I got Dr. Chris Hill in the house. Dr. Chris, you come up here for a second. This is Dr. Chris Hill. Chris Hill has been promoted. I don't do big promotions most of the time. I don't make it, y'all don't hear me, I just make a move. But I think this one's been promoted. Come over here, Chris, where they can see you. He is, listen to this, Chief of Upstairs. COU, Chief of Upstairs. Tell them what your degree's in.
I have a doctorate in pastoral theology.
See? He's Chief of Upstairs. He's Chief of Upstairs, and the entire President's Club is upstairs. The entire ABTF is upstairs, and the entire lead department is upstairs. And we got a Chief of Upstairs running the upstairs now. Woo! So you get a chance, congratulate him. It's a big promotion. You excited about it?
Yes, sir. Very excited.
What's your chief aim in life from upstairs?
Increase the stock price. That's what I want to do.
We've got an announcement. As soon as this is over, all our staff are coming down here. We've got some of them down here, and they're going to hear it ahead of time. But listen to this. We had an announcement. So when we merged with Integrity, every single employee got chunks of stock. Okay? Little chunks, medium chunks, big chunks, and giant chunks. Okay? Of stock. We were recently told that the conservative estimate is every stock that you own, some of them own 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 and up stock, times 50 cents times every one, that's your money now. So if we sold, there was people that would have an extra $2,500, an extra $5,000, an extra $10,000. So it's going to happen because we're going to roll this thing up in between 2 to 3 years. They're predicting that it's going to go up $1 a share this year, this coming year. So everybody's making more money while they're making more money, while they're making more money, while we're building pipelines. See how this works, guys? Yeah. So congratulations, Chris. I am glad you're up there. This happened yesterday. If anybody hadn't heard it, we're starting to announce that, so I wanted you to know it. Hey, a couple more comments on things that you get. Momentum is created by not waiting. If you will go now, and then the motion that you create helps keep you in motion. It's Jeff called it a devotion to the motion. It's just like every day you got to get going. Every day, in my mind, I think my guys were kind of impressed. We drew out groups. I drew out the different hierarchies. I showed them Fitt's organization. I showed them the Diane Lee Lampe organization, the Davies organization, my organization, and showing them how the concept of I'm always working out here and I always know where I am. What we talked about is some people playing checkers. Well, first there's some people playing hacky sack. Can you imagine? They're playing hacky sack. Then you got people playing checkers. Then you got people playing chess. In this business, sometimes I feel like it's three-dimensional chess because you're working on all different angles. Bell saw it. Jake saw it. I wonder if any of y'all are the main ones. Kind of crazy, Bell. Understand how the depth works and the width. So, next thing, intentional, not aimless. When you know what you're trying to do, we're trying to get 12 deep. We're trying to get 12 wide. And then after we get 12 deep, we're trying to get that person 12 deep. Uno más. That's the definition. That's where we want to go. One more in width, one more in depth. And people say, well, when are we going to sell? We're going to sell all the time, 40 appointments a week. You say, what if I'm 6 down and the person that's only 4 down is not selling 40? No worries. Tell them what they're supposed to do. Coach them, encourage them. But keep going down and find it. What you want to do is find easy. That's what you're doing. You're looking for the easy person to work with and being nice about it. All right, distinction, not average. Results are earned. This is a fight. We're going to war. We're expanding, not comfortable. This is what you was talking about, consequences. You get off on that consequences stuff. Talk to them about that. People don't feel like they don't feel like it's going to be a problem.
I mean, the only time you can get people to move in life is to put a consequence on them. In like the bucket analogy, that's the only reason that person got that job, because they needed the money and they would put up with whatever. We've got to get to a point in our lives where consequence doesn't drive our urgency. We can't wait around for a reason to do it. We've got to figure out that we need to start doing it first. I mean, this is the point I'd like for you all to get to. How many people in my lifetime and your lifetime have you not told about this opportunity? If there's more people you're not telling than the people you are telling, that's a problem. I hope from today forward that you don't miss an opportunity. I'm going to be in a restaurant. I'm going to tell somebody about this opportunity. I have missed a lot of opportunity to tell people about this thing called the Alliance. And I feel guilty about it. I'm not contributing if I'm not exposing them to the opportunity. Be intentional with your exposure.
You talk to Danny Barr? Did you invite him over here today? He couldn't make it today. See how that works? I'm talking width, I'm talking depth, and I'm thinking, I got a guy that's supposed to be one more deep here. Where's he at? From my high school. From 2 years ago when I graduated high school. From 30, I don't know how many years, he contacted me, and he's in class, right? He's working his way through class. So I asked Annette and Megan, I said, would y'all help my buddy get through class? I don't think it's right. He's had a maintenance job for the last 35, 40 years, and he's looking for an easy way to make money, so he's in class. Did his daughters get in class yet? We need to get the daughters in class. Megan, we need to get the daughters in class. You need to explain it to them. They need to get in class. It's just it's non-stop, inch by inch pipeline. I don't think people see how, like, I'm following up with Annette, Mike and Noel. I'm always following up, trying to get one more deep. I think you talk about my imagination of how bad it could be is my consequences. Whew. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. I want to go forward. I will figure out a way, Jeremico. That Marcus Dana showed up. Who we got up in there?
So y'all know my younger brother Joshua. This is Joshua. He passed his test on Friday. We're waiting for the state to get back to us. And this is Joshua's partner, Owen. Owen, say hello to the folks.
Hello, how you guys doing today?
What's up, Owen?
Hey.
I'm coming out there. I'm coming to see you February, I think it's like February 9th. February 8th or February 9th. Mark that up, Marcus. I'll get the outline to you, but I'm bringing my jet out there, bringing some top producers with me. I think Mark Hutchins is going to be with me on the jet. One of number 2 or number 3 in the United States of America. I think it's number 2 going to be with me. And what I'm looking for, Marcus, is a house full. I want to hear Carla talking about bringing all them people up in this house. What's wrong with y'all? You'll be like, get some food in here. We got to get this thing stirred up. We're gonna mess them up. All right. But
all right.
See. Here, watch. This is the way it works, Bill. I'm going like, there they are. There's Owen. That's 3 deep right there. I got to help Owen hire 5, 6 people. Owen, are you into this parable of the pipeline, money coming in? Do you like the idea of money coming in and you ain't working? Different streams of income coming in over here, income coming in over there. Are you okay with that?
That's how I do it. Okay with that.
You would be okay with that, Owen?
You didn't miss the opportunity.
Think it through. Don't feel like I'm making you say it, because I don't want to make somebody get rich. Are you sure you okay with multiple streams of income?
Yes, sir. That sounds
you
like
okay with money coming in?
You never miss an opportunity to explain the opportunity.
Right.
Never miss an opportunity.
Especially at the deepest part of the leg. My gosh.
Yeah.
Now's the time, baby. Yeah. How soon do you talk to them about that? Right then. I'm excited, man. We got to get this thing one more deep. Owen, you graduate from the same university that Joshua is?
I did at first, but then I had a couple things pop up, so I got out, and then I was just handling my business with just family and just getting a job and all that stuff. So
nice. What kind of business your family in?
So at first I was just working with my family and their restaurants and all that stuff. But after COVID and all that stuff happened, we closed down, and then I started as a sales associate. So I really got into that, and then I heard about the opportunity, and it's basically I don't make that much commission anyways, and I still like it. So if I could make some extra money, I'd even go a little extra for it.
Did you know that we are COVID resistant with our organization? We actually made more money when the COVID came out. We kind of like a good church. When bad times hit, we say, "Come on in, baby. We're gonna pray for y'all." You don't need to stay out there. Something bad might happen to you. Come on in here. We cover them up, baby. We got insurance. We got asset protection. We got income protection. We got income expansion for anybody that wants it. The only thing we figured out is we can't kiss a girl leaning away. We can't climb a fence that's leaning toward us. And we can't help people that don't want to be helped. That's why I asked him. I said, would you mind having some residual income coming in? Who said, what if everybody you talk to hates residual income? What if everybody you talk to hates having multiple streams? None of the people I talk to want to have multiple streams of income. Everybody I talk to wants to have to keep working every day to make their money. I go like, what do you say? How is that possible that that's happening with you? Have you tried a Tic Tac or maybe a little sweet shot? Your breath must be stinking. Think about it. I mean, the only reason somebody, no, I'm not interested in that. God knows, man. Did a rat die in there? You know, what happened, Bo? How in the world could people say no to residual income and money coming in? Does that make sense to you, Owen?
Most definitely.
I'm telling you, Bo. In that case, I'm looking for big things out of you. Marcus, just in case he's faking like he gets the income thing coming in. I know he looks like he's smart and everything, but just in case he's agreeing, make sure you go get somebody else. Okay? I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight when nobody don't want nothing. I want me 2 or 3 optional ones so I can pick the easiest. I'll be like, how about you? I'll watch how fast I time them. How fast they say, yeah. Yeah, I'm in, Mr. Albright. You know? I'm looking for the easy ones. Courtney, you finding them, baby? Has Chris got you out there recruiting? You finding the dogs? You finding the ones that'll hunt?
Yes, sir.
See, my chest brain's thinking. I got to watch. I got to go. How about this? Manifold. Has Megan helped you get some streams of income coming in?
Absolutely. We're recruiting like crazy.
Have you seen an override check come in?
Yes.
You have had override money. Let me ask you something. Can you see yourself getting addicted to override money coming in?
Oh yeah. Yeah, watching people, other people succeed, being a part of that, I think that sounds amazing.
Watching and helping other people succeed and being a part of it. That's eyes off of you and eyes on them. And it's the craziest thing. You will be the one accused of being greedy because you're helping other people. And then you take all that money and you just give it to the car dealer. Buy yourself a Mercedes. They'll be like, sure is generous for you to buy them cars and stuff. You'd be like, yeah, the other day I was greedy and now I'm generous. You just keep doing that cycle around. Just keep building them pipelines. All you really want to be is a pipe builder. January 1, 2021 is coming. All right? New Year's is coming, baby. It's the biggest year ever. 40-40. What am I leaving out, Chris? Tia? Terry? National Convention. I wish we'd have everyone. Matter of fact, I got all of y'all coming. I wish we had 1,000 more people coming. We're going to have a blast in Florida. We're going to broadcast this thing nationwide, and then we're going to all branch out. Several of you I would like to invite to stay over one more night in Paradise. One more night, if you would, for me in Paradise in Treasure Island. And we're going to do some teaching. We'll have some people in Florida. Let's start game planning in Kansas City, Denver, Dallas, Melbourne, Ohio, Greenville, South Carolina. Come back here, Burlington. We'll do another one in Burlington. We'll bring Megan Wood. We'll bring Hutch. We'll bring Robert Wilson. We'll bring him down here, and we'll do some serious teaching. This Medicare thing is going to get crazy, too. We're going to have a big Medicare summit while we're down in Florida, too. Love y'all, guys. Thanks. Peace out. Power to power pipeline. Good stuff. Addicted to overrides.